as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the Son of Man.
Oh, man, come on.
Sarah, the other woman, would mother the chosen seed. Verse 23. But as he who is from the female Eved, servant, was born after the flesh, but he from the free woman was born by promise. Two mothers, two women. One representing Yahweh's will, the other representing the will of man's flesh. I'm being nice here. I'm being very, very, very cultured in my explanation. Let's rephrase that. Abraham liked Hagar and didn't care about the plan and the promise. He just engaged Hagar. Can we leave it at that? Huh? Two mothers. One was Yahweh's will. The other woman was his idea, the woman of the flesh, created by man's flesh. We have these two women here mentioned in Matthew 24. Yeah. These are the two women mentioned in Matthew 24 right here in Galatians chapter 4. And in Revelation 13 and 17. Revelation 13 talks about the righteous woman who had 12 crowns on her head, the 12 tribes. That's Miriam, Mary, who gave birth to the man-child, Yeshua, who would redeem all nations. That's the righteous woman, that's Israel. Then there's the other woman after the flesh, after the desire of men, mentioned in Revelation 17. So the book of Revelation also has two women, one of man's flesh, a religion and faith of man's flesh, the other woman representing Israel. Brothers and sisters, these two women here, one free, one slave, one free, one slave, one free, one slave, one free, one slave, represent Islam and Israel, just like it does in Matthew 24. Now, I'll prove it to you. Just sit there and enjoy. I don't know what else to tell you. The seats are free, the food is good, and just enjoy. Verse 24. Which things, meaning Hagar and Sarah, two women, these wives, these mothers of two different peoples, the Muslim people, the Edomites, the Ishmaelites, most of them adopted the faith of Islam, are allegories and two covenants, one from Mount Sinai, Har Sinai, that brings forth slavery, which is Hagar. Whoa, baby, what on earth is going on here? It says that the two women, the woman of promise and the woman of slavery, are really two covenants. Now, look at me. The church has said this is the law and grace, right? The dichotomy or the difference between law and grace. Isn't that the way we've always heard this taught? Yeah. That Hagar represents the Jews and the bondage of the law. And Sarah represents the church and the New Jerusalem as born in grace and not all those commandments and all, right? Isn't that the way it's always been taught? Not so fast. Not so fast. Let's look at it a little bit different. And then it says here that one of the covenants, these are allegories, meaning the two women are allegorical, meaning what? The two women what? Represent two covenants. They're allegorical. The two women are not the issue. The allegory is the issue. They represent the point of the author, yes. Rav Shaul. But wait a second. What confuses me is that we know Mount Sinai is Jacob's experience. We know Mount Sinai was Israel's experience. And instead of saying slavery, it should say the freedom to obey Yahweh. Why does it say that Mount Sinai, or the Torah, which is also a metaphor for the giving of Torah, brings slavery? Just the opposite. The Torah talks about Jubilee, the Torah talks about sabbatical, the Torah talks about freedom. Blow the shofar every 50th Yom Kippur and proclaim Yovel, proclaim Jubilee. How can that be? And it talks about if you have a slave for 6 years, you've got to set him free in the 7th year because slavery is forbidden by Yahweh in perpetuity in the Torah. And here in Galatians it tells me that the Torah represents Hagar. If anything, the Torah should represent Sarah, shouldn't it? Are you with me? Yes. If anything, the Torah should represent those who received the Torah. Israel, Yaakov, Sarah, not Hagar.
Right.
Yes.
Now look at verse 25. For this Hagar is Har Sinai, Mount Sinai, in Arabia.
Wow. But we knew that.
Don't slow down now. Don't jump the gun. Hagar would birth Ishmael, who would birth Edom, who would birth the Arabic peoples, who would predominantly be resurrected in power and in their grinding at the mill in the last days, primarily through the philosophy and the Mashiach of the desert, Mecca and Medina, the cities of the desert, the wind of the desert, the unclean that will be removed when Israel's left to inherit the kingdom. Is this blowing you away? No, wait a second. Hagar is a metaphor or an allegory for a mountain in Arabia. Where is Arabia today? Saudi Arabia. The head of the beast, the city on 7 hills, the city surrounded by 8 bodies of water that causes the whole earth to buy, sell, and exchange an economy with oil and all the other things that we learned about. Now, here's the revelation. Turn to your neighbor and go, clear those webs.
Clear those webs.
Clear those webs.
Clear those webs.
Here's the revelation. This can be seen, brothers and sisters, prophetically. The 2 sons, Edom and the Yaakov, are 2 end-time nations. One is Hagar's seed. This one will come 600 years in the future of when Galatians was written. Yes, Edom was around at the time of Rav Shaul Ted. Yes, Edom was around, but Rav Shaul writes of a law and a future children of the bondwoman, slavery, desert religion, desert philosophy, a desert system that puts itself in place of the true system of Yahweh's worship. And they will follow a law or a covenant or a set of jurisprudence or laws emanating from Arabia. This can be prophetic. The Rav Shaul writes, you know about Sarah and Hagar? Those 2 women are allegories. They are prophetic about the last day. Now, there will be, I see this prophetically. See it with me. Try to see this with me. Prophetically, there will come a Torah or a set of laws, a codicil, or a set of jurisprudence, emanating from Arabia and Mount Sinai. We know that the Torah sets people free and doesn't produce slaves, religious slaves. So therefore, this may be, or probably is, a prophetic reference to Sharia law, the Torah or the law of Islam, the final end-time beast that enslaves men, women, and children, and those who refuse the mark of the beast will not be able to buy and sell. Because we know historically that the real Mount Sinai is in Arabia, in Saudi Arabia. I don't have time to go into it tonight. Because the Mount Sinai that Constantine's mother, Anna, or Helena, said couldn't be because it was in Egypt proper, not across in the land of Midian. The land of Midian is modern Saudi Arabia. Now let's get back to this. So the true Mount Sinai, and I'm going to pass this around if you're interested. The true Mount Sinai is in Arabia. Isn't that what it says?
Yes.
Read it again. It's not in the Judean wilderness, as many have believed.